Hello everyone, welcome to Learn English, where English becomes exciting. Today I want to share a powerful story with you, a story about mistakes, learning, and second chances. This is a Level 1 story, perfect for beginners who want to improve their English listening skills. The story is called One Big Mistake, and I promise by the end you will learn an important life lesson. So sit back, relax, listen carefully, and let's begin. Our story begins in a small town called Riverside. In this town lived a young man named David. David was 22 years old. He lived with his parents and his younger brother, Tom. David's father worked at a factory, his mother was a teacher, and they were a simple, hard-working family. They didn't have much money, but they had love, respect, and big dreams for their children. David was different from other young men in the town. He was smart, he was creative, and he had big ideas. But David had one big problem. He always wanted quick success. He wanted money fast. He wanted results without working hard. His father always told him, "Son, success takes time. You must work hard and be patient." But David never listened. He thought his father was old-fashioned and didn't understand the modern world. One day, David's friend Carlos came to visit him. Carlos was driving a fancy new car, wearing expensive clothes, and had a big smile on his face. David was shocked. Just 2 months ago, Carlos had no money. He was struggling just like David. Now, suddenly, Carlos looked like a rich man. David asked with excitement, "Carlos, my friend, what happened? How did you get all this? Where did this money come from?" Carlos laughed and said, "David, my friend, I found a shortcut to success. I'm working with a businessman named Mr. Peterson. He has an amazing investment opportunity. You give him money and in just 3 months he doubles it. I gave him $5,000 and now I have $10,000. It's the easiest money I've ever made." David's eyes grew wide with excitement. He said, "Tell me more. How can I join this? I want to make money fast too." Carlos pulled out a business card and said, "Here, take this. Go meet Mr. Peterson tomorrow. But you need to invest at least $8,000 to start. The more you invest, the more you earn. It's simple, David. In 3 months, you'll be driving a car like mine." That night, David couldn't sleep. His mind was racing with thoughts of money, cars, and success. He thought to himself, "This is my chance. This is my opportunity to become rich quickly. I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of waiting." But there was one problem. David didn't have $8,000. He only had $1,000 saved from his part-time job at the grocery store. He thought deeply, "Where can I get this money?" Then a terrible idea came into his mind. His parents had been saving money for years. They kept it in a small metal box under their bed. That money was for Tom's college education. Tom was 16 years old and very smart. He wanted to be a doctor. Their parents had worked day and night to save $10,000 for his future. David knew where the key to the box was hidden. He knew his parents trusted him completely. A voice in his head said, "Take the money, you'll double it in 3 months and return it before anyone notices. Your parents will never know, and Tom's education will be safe." But another voice said, "This is wrong, David. That money is not yours. You're betraying your family's trust." For hours, David wrestled with this decision. He paced back and forth in his room. He couldn't decide what to do. Finally, greed won over honesty. The next morning, when his parents went to work and Tom went to school, David took the key, opened the metal box, and took out $8,000. His hands were shaking. His heart was beating fast. He felt guilty, but he told himself, "It's just for 3 months. I'll return it soon. Everything will be fine." He left $2,000 in the box, so it wouldn't look completely empty. That afternoon, David went to meet Mr. Peterson. Mr. Peterson's office was in a tall building in the city center. It looked very professional, with big glass windows and modern furniture. Mr. Peterson was a middle-aged man, wearing an expensive suit. He had a smooth voice and a confident smile. He shook David's hand and said, "Welcome, young man. Carlos told me about you. You're making a very smart decision today." Mr. Peterson showed David charts and graphs. He explained how the investment works. He showed testimonials from other happy investors. Everything looked real. Everything looked professional. David felt more confident. He thought, this is definitely not a scam. This is a real business opportunity. He handed over the $8,000, and Mr. Peterson gave him a receipt and a contract. Mr. Peterson said, "Congratulations, David. In exactly 90 days, come back and I'll give you $16,000. David left the office feeling like the smartest man in the world. For the first month, David felt excited and happy. He told himself, I made the right choice. In 2 more months, I'll be rich. He even started planning what he would buy with his profits. Maybe a motorcycle, maybe new clothes, maybe he would take his family on a vacation. He checked his phone every day, waiting for updates from Mr. Peterson. Whenever his mother asked him why he looked so happy, he just smiled and said, "Nothing, Mom, I'm just having a good day." But then something strange started happening. After 1 month, David tried calling Mr. Peterson, but the phone was switched off. He sent text messages but got no reply. He thought maybe Mr. Peterson is busy, maybe he's traveling, maybe there's a problem with his phone. Another week passed, still no response. David started feeling worried. A dark feeling grew in his stomach. He decided to visit the office. When David reached the tall building, his heart sank. The office was empty, completely empty. The furniture was gone, the decorations were gone, everything was gone. There was only dust and silence. David asked the building security guard, "Where is Mr. Peterson?" The guard shook his head and said, "That man left 2 weeks ago. He disappeared in the middle of the night. Many people have come here looking for him. You're not the first." David felt like the ground was disappearing under his feet. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't think. He realized the terrible truth. He had been scammed. Mr. Peterson was a con man, a criminal who stole money from innocent people. The investment opportunity was fake. The charts were fake. The testimonials were fake. Everything was a lie. And Carlos, David's so-called friend, was working with Mr. Peterson. They were partners in crime. They tricked people together and shared the stolen money. David felt sick. He felt stupid. He felt destroyed. But the worst part was yet to come. He had lost his parents' money, the money they saved with blood and sweat, the money meant for Tom's education. How could he face them? How could he tell them what he did? For days, David lived in fear and guilt. He couldn't eat. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't look his parents in the eyes. His mother noticed something was wrong and asked, "David, are you sick? Is something bothering you?" David just shook his head and said, "No, Mom, I'm fine, just tired from work." One evening, David's father, Mark, came home with a big smile on his face. He called the whole family and said, "I have great news, everyone. Tom has been accepted into medical school. The interview went very well. They want him to start next month." Tom jumped with joy. Their mother started crying with happiness. Everyone was celebrating. But David felt his world collapsing. Next month, they would need the money. They would open the metal box. They would discover what he did. That night, David couldn't take it anymore. The guilt was eating him alive. He went to his father's room where Mark was reading a book. David sat down. His hands were shaking. Tears were forming in his eyes. He said with a breaking voice, "Dad, I need to talk to you. I did something terrible. I made a big mistake." Mark put down his book and looked at his son with concern. He said, "David, whatever it is, you can tell me. I'm your father." David took a deep breath and told his father everything. He told him about Carlos, about Mr. Peterson, about the fake investment opportunity. He told him how he stole the money from the metal box, how he was scammed, how he lost everything. Tears rolled down David's face as he said, "Dad, I'm so sorry. I destroyed Tom's future. I betrayed your trust. I was greedy and stupid. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what to do." Mark sat in silence for a long time. His face was serious. His eyes were sad. David expected his father to shout, to scream, to throw him out of the house. But instead, Mark spoke quietly. He said, "David, do you know what hurts me the most? It's not the money. Money can be earned again. What hurts me is that you didn't trust us. You didn't believe in hard work. You chose shortcuts over honesty. You broke our family's trust. That pain is deeper than any financial loss." David cried harder and said, "I know, Dad. I know I destroyed everything. I'm the worst son in the world." Mark put his hand on David's shoulder and said, "No, son. You made a mistake, a big mistake. But you're not a bad person. Bad people don't feel guilty, bad people don't confess, bad people don't cry. You're just a young man who made a wrong choice. Now the question is, what will you do next? Will you run away from your mistake, or will you face it and fix it? David looked up at his father with red eyes and said, I want to fix it, Dad. I want to make things right. But how? I don't have the money. I don't have anything. Mark said, fixing a mistake takes time. It takes hard work. It takes sacrifice. Tomorrow morning you will tell your mother and Tom what happened. They deserve to know the truth. Then you will start working. Not one job, but 2 jobs, maybe 3 jobs. You will save every single dollar. You will work day and night until you return every penny you stole. It might take months, it might take years, but you will do it. And through this process, you will learn the most important lesson of your life. There are no shortcuts to success. Nothing good comes easy. The next morning was the hardest morning of David's life. He sat with his mother Claire and brother Tom and told them everything. His mother cried, not because of the money, but because her son had lied to her. Tom was angry at first. He shouted, "How could you do this, David? That was my future, my dreams." But after some time, Tom calmed down and said, "I'm disappointed, but you're still my brother. I believe you can fix this." From that day, David's life completely changed. He woke up at 4 a.m. every morning and worked at a construction site carrying heavy materials, digging, building. After 8 hours of hard physical labor, he went to his second job at the grocery store, where he worked until 8 p.m. Then, 3 times a week, he worked as a night security guard from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. He worked 7 days a week without a single day off. His body was exhausted, his hands developed blisters, his back hurt constantly. But David never complained. Every time he felt tired, he remembered his mistake. He remembered the pain he caused his family. He thought to himself, "This is my punishment. This is how I fix what I broke." His mother would pack him food every day. Sometimes she would put a little note inside saying, "I'm proud of you, son. Keep going." Those notes gave David strength to continue. Months passed slowly. David saved every dollar he earned. He stopped buying anything for himself. No new clothes, no entertainment, no luxury. Every penny went into a jar he kept in his room. After 3 months, he had saved $1,500. He gave it to his father. After 6 months, he saved another $2,000. His father kept the money safely and said, "You're making progress, son. I can see you've changed." After 1 full year of working 3 jobs, David had saved $7,000. He was exhausted, but he didn't stop. He couldn't stop until he paid back every single dollar. One evening, something unexpected happened. David was working at the construction site when the site manager, Mr. Rodriguez, called him. Mr. Rodriguez said, "David, I've been watching you for months. You're the hardest working young man I've ever seen. You never complain. You never come late. You give 100% every day. I want to offer you a permanent position as a site supervisor with a much better salary." David was shocked. He said, "Sir, I don't have experience as a supervisor. Why would you choose me?" Mr. Rodriguez smiled and said, "Because I don't need someone with experience. I need someone with character. Experience can be taught, but character cannot. You have something special, David. You have integrity. You have determination." David accepted the offer with gratitude. The new position paid 3 times more than his construction worker's salary. This meant he could finally save faster and return the money sooner. With his increased income and continued hard work, after 18 months, David finally did it. He saved $8,000, the exact amount he had stolen. One Sunday evening, he gathered his entire family in the living room. He placed a stack of money on the table and said with tears in his eyes, "This is it. This is the $8,000 I took. Every single dollar is here. I know I can never erase what I did, but I worked hard to fix my mistake. I hope one day you can fully forgive me." His mother hugged him tightly and said, "We already forgave you, David, the moment you decided to face your mistake instead of running from it." His father, Mark, smiled and said, "Son, you paid back the money, but you earned something more valuable. You earned back your honor. You earned back our trust. And most importantly, you earned self-respect." Tom patted David on the back and said, "Big brother, you taught me the most important lesson. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about having the courage to fix them. But David's journey didn't end there. The experience changed him completely. He was no longer the young man who wanted quick success and shortcuts. He learned that real success comes from honest work, patience, and discipline. He continued working as a site supervisor and saved money the right way this time. After another year, he had saved enough to start his own small construction business. He named it Second Chance Construction. His business grew slowly but steadily because David followed one principle: never promise what you can't deliver, always do honest work, treat workers fairly, and success will come naturally. Within 3 years, Second Chance Construction became one of the most trusted companies in Riverside. David hired workers from difficult backgrounds, people who made mistakes in their past, people who needed a second chance just like he did. One day, a young man named Alex came to David looking for work. Alex had been in trouble with the law. He had made bad choices, and nobody would hire him. David saw himself in Alex's eyes. He saw desperation, guilt, and a desire to change. David hired Alex immediately and said, "I'm giving you the same chance someone gave me. Don't waste it. Work hard, be honest, and you can rebuild your life." Alex worked hard and eventually became one of David's most trusted employees. Tom successfully went to medical school. David personally paid for his first year as a gift to his brother. Tom graduated and became a doctor. He opened a small clinic in Riverside and served the poor community. He often told his patients, "My brother taught me that mistakes don't define you. Your response to those mistakes defines you." Years later, David was invited to speak at the town's community center. He stood in front of hundreds of young people and shared his story. He said, "When I was your age, I thought success meant having money fast, looking rich, and impressing others. I wanted shortcuts. I wanted quick results. This thinking led me to make one big mistake that almost destroyed my family and my future. But that mistake taught me the most valuable lessons of my life. First, there are no shortcuts to real success. Anything worth having requires hard work, patience, and sacrifice. Second, honesty and integrity are more valuable than money. Once you lose people's trust, it takes years to earn it back. Third, when you make a mistake, don't run from it, face it, own it, and fix it. The size of your character is measured by how you handle your mistakes. Fourth, hard work can fix almost anything. There's no problem that consistent, honest effort cannot solve. Fifth, your family's love is unconditional. They will forgive you if you show genuine change. And finally, second chances are precious. If life gives you another opportunity, don't waste it. Use it to become better. The young people listened carefully. Many of them had tears in their eyes. After the speech, a teenage boy came to David and said, "Sir, I stole money from my parents last month. I've been hiding it and feeling terrible. After hearing your story, I know what I must do. I must confess and work to return it." David put his hand on the boy's shoulder and said, "That takes courage. I'm proud of you. Go talk to your parents today." As David drove home that evening, he thought about his journey. From a greedy young man who made one big mistake, to a hard-working man who learned life's most important lessons, to a successful businessman who helped others get second chances. He realized that his mistake, as painful as it was, became the foundation of everything good in his life. Without that mistake, he would never have learned discipline. He would never have earned real respect. He would never have become the man he was today. He arrived home where his wife Maria was waiting for him. Yes, David got married 3 years ago to a wonderful woman who loved him for who he was, not what he owned. They had a baby daughter named Hope, a name David chose because his story was about hope, about second chances, about redemption. He picked up little Hope and kissed her forehead. He whispered, "Daddy will teach you many things as you grow, but the most important lesson is this: never be afraid of making mistakes, but always have the courage to fix them." That night, David wrote in his journal, a habit he started years ago to track his progress. He wrote, "Today I shared my story with young people. I saw my younger self in their eyes. If my mistake can help even one person make a better choice, then all my pain was worth it. I learned that one big mistake doesn't have to define your entire life. It can be the beginning of your transformation if you choose to learn from it." And so our story ends, but the lessons remain. David's story teaches us that everyone makes mistakes. That's part of being human. Some mistakes are small, some are big, but what matters is what you do after the mistake. Do you run and hide? Do you make excuses? Do you blame others? Or do you take responsibility, work hard, and fix what you broke? Remember, success is not about never falling down. It's about getting back up every single time you fall. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about learning from those mistakes and becoming wiser. Real strength is not in being perfect. Real strength is in admitting when you're wrong and having the courage to make it right. So if you're listening to this story and you've made mistakes in your past, don't give up on yourself. Your mistake is not the end of your story, it's just one chapter. You have the power to write the next chapter differently. You have the power to change, to grow, to become better. Start today, take responsibility, work hard, be patient, and give yourself a second chance. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope it touched your heart and taught you something valuable. Remember, one big mistake can become your greatest teacher if you let it. If this story inspired you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll continue sharing more stories that help you learn English and learn about life. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in second chances. Your transformation starts now.